Mm-hmm. Hello. It's a pleasure. Oh, Swift says that the your mic isn't coming through the stream. What's up, Beppo? How's it going, man? He's fixing it now. I'm providing some commentary here. I can hear Kurt. You
Can
can't
you
hear
hear me
Kurt.
now? They should be able to hear me now.
Yes, you're coming through loud and clear now.
Yay! Woo woo.
All
Okay.
right.
So I'm so sorry. Let me repeat everything that I just said. But very quickly. Thank you for joining
Yeah.
us for Launchpad. I have with me the amazing Trevor Blades. Hello, Trevor.
Hello,
If you
Kurt.
if you haven't been with us so far, we're continuing on our journey, building Journey. See what I did there? Which is a Gatsby app powered by Apollo and GraphQL, and it's used to track your job listings. We've gotten a pretty far through it. So what we'll do is we'll kind of just spin up the UI, take a look at it first, and talk about what we've done and where we're at, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Good.
Let's see what we've got.
Let's see what we've got. So that should have caught you all up in the chat. Hopefully on everything I said that was worth any value anyway, because I think about probably 20 to 30% of the words that exit my mouth are useful. All right, so let's flip
I think
over.
you did it. That was a pretty effective speed round.
Thanks. Okay, so oh wait, here we go. So localhost 8888, and we are. Oh, look at that, beautiful. So here we have our app for tracking these job listings. Totally forgot we added the filter like as like a last little bit there, right? And we've got like
Mhm.
this add contact form. I think this is kind of where we left off, right? Working on this add contact form.
Yeah, exactly. So now this is I think we did all of the like the front end stuff. Now we need to write some mutations on
That's
our
right.
schema, write some update functions. Basically, just
Yeah.
tie this like add contact, um, this kind of like add contact workflow together,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then at that point, I want to say that we're more or less feature complete. But
Okay.
let's get through this first and see where it lands us.
I love it. Okay, so yeah, so jumping back into the code, let me know if the code is legible on stream. I think I've got it. It looks pretty legible,
Looks
um,
good.
but you never know. Cool. All right, so then yeah, so we left off on, so we have our contact select component, and this is what we're using for existing contacts now, right? And then
Yes,
there's,
exactly.
so let me go into our app, and we have a create. How do we? Where's the form? I'm not seeing the form. Is
For the
con?
contact.
Yeah, like where you can create a new contact.
Yeah, so we're doing this in
Oh, inside of listings.
listings. Yeah,
That's right.
create
That's right.
select contact.
That is correct. Here we go. Add contact button. Perfect. So this is okay. Right. And it opens the modal but doesn't do anything. And this is where we left off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as a matter of fact, this is yeah, cool. And disclosure, this hook is from Chakra, and it just kind of gives you that um, those handles into the modal. Is this
Yeah,
correct?
exactly. It gives you your basic kind of like open close functions with an open or closed boolean.
I love it. I love it. Which is neat. So like instead of every time having to go in, and use state to recreate that yourself. Like if that's what you're doing with it, that basic setup, you could just use the pre-provided
Yep.
hook. That's clever. Shout out to
Mm-hmm.
Chakra on that
Mm-hmm.
dev experience. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So like you said, we have a form, but it is not connected. We're not doing anything. Let's go build the back end, and then we'll come back to the front end and tie those two together. Does that make
Yeah, I
sense?
think that sounds good. Before we do that, though, there's one thing that I noticed is that um, our contact select
Uh-huh.
is not actually rendering the
Contacts?
our contacts. So we have this get contacts query in the contact select component. I'm just double checking to see if it's
Didn't we
failing.
discover... I thought that we discovered that didn't we say there was like a missing relation or something like that? No, because we're just looking at contacts as a whole.
Yeah, so we're actually we're getting an empty array back for
Contacts.
But I think it's because you're right. It's so funny, like when we have to like get back into like the mindset, try to remember where we left off, sort of thing. But yeah, I remember we were talking about creating a relationship between contacts and users.
That's right.
Right? And a user, where is it? Contacts. User has many contacts. A contact belongs to a user. And then in our GraphQL schema, we're listing, when we list off all of the contacts, we're basically saying user get contacts. But that's not going to work if none of the contacts that have been created have been associated with a user yet, which is the current state we're in. We have a contact in our database, but they haven't been associated with a user. So we need to create a mutation so that we can create a contact associated with a user and add it to a listing. And then our get contacts query should start working again.
Nice. Okay. So exactly. So then that will work as soon as like Trevor Blades was not saved as associated with my user, so it's just not going to show up even though it exists in the database. But once we get this form working and then we actually associate the user when a contact is added, boom, all that gets fixed.
Then it should work. Then we should start getting contacts listed in our dropdown, and then we can test out adding existing contacts to a listing. So it's kind of nice. We'll have finishing one feature will allow us to work on the following one.
Cool. Yeah. So let's do that. You want to take the lead? You want me to take the lead? What do you want to do here?
Sure, I'm happy to take the lead. I would love to do this like create contact mutation, which we don't have yet. So if you're following me, what I'm going to do is head up to the mutation type in our GraphQL schema, and right above the remove contact mutation, I'm going to add a create contact mutation. The input will be of type create contact input, and it'll return a contact.
Love it.
I think. Or
I think create contact should return the contact. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah. That I think that all checks out.
Can we look at the contact type? Can you get to the user from the contact?
I'm just kind of getting caught up in here. You can't get to the user, like the user who created the contact, but we could just as easily add a user.
Yeah, right. Do we care though? I was just curious.
I don't think it matters for right now.
It does not.
But let's just kind of work through this. The one thing that I was kind of getting hung up on was this remove contact type. Remember when we were doing this and we wanted to provide the listing ID that the contact was removed from. with like this with this response. And I was just thinking, like, yeah, that is useful, but in our remove contact button, this is where we actually use that listing ID right over here. And
we already have it.
We might already have it, depending on how we use the remove contact button. So if I'm looking at remove, this is a bit of a tangent that we're going on here, but as you can see here, we already have listing ID as part of the input that we passed.
Yeah.
So, like, what we could do is change our GraphQL schema so that the remove contact mutation just gives us a contact.
I'm with
and
you.
Then the remove contact button is responsible for like
I like it,
deciding where to remove that contact from.
Yeah, and
it just makes our schema a little bit more makes a bit more sense.
It's cleaner, like, and I want to express that, like, there's a difference between a schema representing the needs of the clients and like the difference between your schema representing an implementation, if that makes sense. So like by removing the listing ID, we're still meeting the needs of the client, right? It's just about the implementation as far as how the listing ID is kept for a given contact remove. But when we think of remove contact, like, who knows how this mutation may be called in the future? And like, there might be cases where it's not related to a listing ID, right? What if I had a profile and I could look at my contacts and then I just want to, like, well, in this case, I guess remove contact would need to be like remove contact from listing. Because that's
right.
What I'm thinking of actually is more like delete contact. See, this is interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting conversation. So now I'm thinking, like, actually,
maybe we should leave it the way it was.
Yeah.
Huh?
Now that's
okay.
After talking about it, I feel like, yeah, we should, because this is remove contacts from listing, and I think that bless you. And I think that should actually be reflected in our schema, and maybe we should change the name of that mutation too.
All right.
What do you think? Right?
I like that. I like that idea better. Yeah. Then, yeah. Let's see.
Well, this gets trickier, because what about create contact? Does that happen standalone or in regards to a listing?
Right. This would, like, a contact. In our current worldview, a contact is always associated with a listing. But like, remove contact from listing, and then later on in this stream, we're going to be doing this, like, add contact to listing.
Yeah.
So we'll I think maybe we'll
keep it.
What I'm gonna do is just add a to do here, like, consider renaming this mutation.
Love it. This is a great chance to bike shed with your team, folks. So if you were to take this stream, and do this with your team, I'm sure you could spend hours thinking of how to name this mutation. Now, but all jokes aside, this is part of schema design, and like, for me, I like names that represent what they're doing. All right.
But I think for this one, I think this is
that's correct, because that is creating a contact. Wait, but don't we add it to the listing within that?
Yeah.
I actually, no, we don't. Can we look at that mutation? What do we actually do inside of it?
Oh, we haven't actually built this yet. That's what we're going to do right now.
Oh, perfect. Then yeah, so we're good.
Let's see what happens. So mutation, we're going to call it create contact. I'm going to say async create contact. We're going to use an input, which we still need to define. And we have an authenticated user.
What?
I'm going to go up here and just define that create contact input. We're going to get listing ID, also a name, and notes.
Yeah. I like it.
And let me just look at the contact. Where is it? The contact type. Yeah, name and notes are both required. So we'll make them both required strings. This means that it could be an empty string. We're not checking for that, but at least now we have our types in our create mutation are consistent with the types in the actual entities that we are creating.
Like it.
And then down here in the create contact mutation, what I can do is just say
Yo.
the listing ID, and this is who was that? I have my mod mode.
This is
Mahmoud. Thank you for the follow. This is Mahmoud.
Love having you.
So we're just going to grab the listing ID from the input and spread the rest of the fields into this rest variable. And then I can say, let's see, create a contact using contact from sequelize.create and just pass in that rest. And then in this case, this just contains our name and notes parameters. And then we can say either contact.add user.
I hate when it does that. It's like, yeah, I want add arguments, whatever function no one's ever used before.
Honestly. So yeah, we could do this, or I guess we could also just say, like, spread in this rest variable, and then tack on a user ID here.
I like that. That makes sense. That's probably the best way, right? And then we just return that contact.
Mm-hmm. Now we still need to do this add listing.
Add listing. That's right.
And for that, we can just pass in listing ID, and we should be good. And then we'll return the contact. But this is kind of what we were getting at, I think, a moment ago, is that should we
also return that listing ID, right?
Yeah. So that the client that's making this request always has some insight into like what exactly happened in this mutation. So yeah, what we could do is return contact and listing ID, and really then what we're doing is we have this remove contact type, which involves a contact and a listing ID. We could generalize this type and make it like I don't know, like contact response, or like a contact listing, or something.
Listing contact makes a lot of sense.
There we go. I like that. Yeah, listing contact. Let's do that. So a listing contact type, it contains two fields: a contact, which is of type contact, and a listing ID that's an ID.
Love it.
And we can use this one type in both our create contact and remove contact stations. Sweet.
It is sweet.
I think that looks pretty good.
It does look good. I love the way schemas look. They're so pretty.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now let's see. If we go over into our contact form, over here in listings, what I'm going to do before moving forward is actually just moving this this contact form into its own component, I think.
Yeah, I think we're at that point, right?
Where are we here? Yeah, now I guess really this bit of code here is the contact form, because we have this create or select contact element that conditionally renders these name and notes fields on the page.
Right.
And so when we hit this add contact button, we kind of have to make a decision about how to operate. Like if we're adding a new contact, then fire this mutation. Otherwise, we want to fire a different one.
If we selected a contact, right?
Yeah. So here's what I'll do. I'm just gonna cut this from this component. I said I was gonna move this stuff, but let's go contact form. It's gonna return
modal body.
This. Oh my gosh! There we go.
I wonder if it's all at the bottom of the file.
Oh yeah.
Nope, we're good.
Nope, looks clean. All right, and then in here, I can type in contact form, and let's see, create a submit handler. For right now, I'm just going to define this handle submit function. We're going to prevent the default behavior and just console log event target. Yeah, something like that.
I like it. Console.log. All right, let me jump over to the browser.
Ooh. Before we do anything, because I just realized this button as it stands currently is not going to be enough to trigger a
form,
a submit on the form. So we gotta give it the type of submit.
Yeah, we do.
To make that work.
Okay. So now we've got that. So this contact form shows up when we press add contact, right? That's the one.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let me.
So that's good.
Pop. Oops. What did I just do?
Signs of life.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Hang on one sec. Sorry, stream. I just messed up the entire display. So let's fix that first. Boopity-boo.
Oh, good.
Oh, one last time. There we go. Okay, so that's fixed. I do apologize. Now, what I really wanted to do was open up DevTools. And I just happened to hit the wrong key combination, which moved my whole window over. Yay.
Oh.
Yeah, because I have like, maybe it's magnet. But anyway, regardless, if I do...
Some kind of space.
Yeah, if I do hotkeys, then yeah, it moves it around. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'm there. So I'm going to hit add contact, create new contact. Just put in some stuff. Add contact, form. Boom. In the console.
That's good.
We're rocking.
So it's a sign of life.
Yeah.
And right now we use this condition, like if contact ID equals new, render the new contact form. So we can use this same heuristic in our contact form submit by checking the value of this contact ID field. So I'm going to try this, see what we get. An empty string when select a contact is chosen, and when I go create a new contact, the value I get in my terminal is the string new.
All right, let's do it.
So we can test that out.
Yeah, let me go.
But
boopity boop, add contact, create, add contact, new. Look at that.
That's good.
Oh yeah.
So we can use that just to gate our mutation here. So let's just say, like, if contact ID value is new, then we're going to fire off create contact mutation. So speaking of that, let's work on that right now or soon. First, I would like to follow up on
removing
what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Just moving this into its own component here.
I like that.
We're gonna call it contact form.js. And I'm just gonna put everything in here.
That's within our
make the contact form
components
default export. And now I'm gonna need your help because I don't get the nice.
You want me to remove all the unused stuff?
Yeah, I'm not getting the proper.
Goodbye.
Red underlines or anything like that.
Don't highlight because if you highlight and then I delete. All right, so let's go. Boom, gone. 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 Ooh, it's like broken for me. Hang on, let me save and see where we're at. There we go. Gone. Gone. Wow, there's a lot of stuff we're getting rid of here. Boom. Okay. So I think that looks good. No more grayed out imports, so we should be good.
Okay, cool. Just give me 1 sec. I just have to respond to a message.
Yeah, no worries. It's really interesting that you don't get the highlighting for it being gone. I wonder why that is. I should say dimming.
I just get I just get 3 little dots under it. When I'm working on one of my projects, like with my ESLint setup, I get like red squiggly underlines. It's really, really obvious.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Okay. So yeah, now we want to add a mutation. This create contact mutation. Oh wait, but before we do that.
But wait.
Getting ahead of myself. We can just remove all this create contact form stuff.
Oh yeah, from here.
Instead, import it from contact form, and then we can remove some unused components. I'm looking very carefully for these 3 underlines. I think I got them all. I hope I didn't.
Looks like it.
I hope I didn't delete anything we needed. I think I deleted something we needed.
Okay, so in contact form it says contact select is not defined, but I think we just need to update that component. We changed the import but didn't change the name.
No, it does say we are still using contact select in here, but we don't actually have that import. So
inside of contact form. Oops, I missed where the error was coming from. And then input is not defined. So let me add that real quick.
Okay.
Cool. There we go.
Nice.
Real nice.
Okay. So this is pretty good. Let's get this mutation working then.
Yeah, right.
So first thing I'm going to do is create my mutation document. It's going to be called create contact. I can't auto import GQL unfortunately, but maybe I'll just go up to the top here and say import GQL and use mutation from Apollo client.
Boom. Some double strings there. There you go.
And then mutation. Oh my
mutation.
It's going to take an input variable of create contact input, which is required, and it's going to call create contact. I love. There's something kind of therapeutic about writing these mutation documents. You have the same thing written in 3 different casings.
Yeah.
It feels like a
covering
fancy restaurant, like fish done 3 ways.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Yeah, we got camel case, snake case, and what's the other one called? Capital case? Something
constant case.
Well, yeah, that
constant case.
Yeah, constant
camel case. Pascal
case, that's it. And then that is constant case, not snake case. We need one more.
We need true snake case somewhere here.
Yeah.
There we go.
We can do it.
Then we need go deeper. Backwards case.
Oh my goodness, backwards case. Look at this. That's hard, but you did it.
Yeah. Backwards case is the new trend that I'm trying to push.
Oh, okay. I love it.
It's for peak developer confusion. That's what I optimized for nowadays.
Yeah, it's for
I used to optimize for developer happiness. No. Now I realize that's overrated and
way overrated.
Confusion is way better.
Yeah, obfuscation, right? You just don't want people to reverse engineer your apps.
Exactly. they can't reverse engineer it if they don't know how to read it. So backwards case, guys.
That's the secret.
Let's push it forward for the future.
You could add backwards like array names to the prototype. It's just an alias to the actual array method. So it's PAM instead of map.
Exactly. I like that. And then for that, like, speaking of arrays, all my arrays are going to be organized backwards.
So they're all reversed by default.
Yeah. So I have to reverse them to get the correct orders.
Yeah. Which is also spelled reversed.
Yep. Yes. Array dot egg egghead tutorial coming soon.
Yeah. On reverse case. I love it.
All right. So now we have our create contact mutation document written. I can now.
It could also work if you point your laptop at a mirror. Right? Then reverse case would be the right way.
Exactly. Huh. That might be the way to do it. I get an external keyboard, which I already have.
Yeah.
Point my computer at a mirror and then code by looking at the mirror.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah, I think that would do it.
I'd still have to know how to write
backwards.
In reverse.
Yeah, you would have to still write it in reverse. But it would just...
But at least I can read like a normal human being.
All right, we were really taking this one all the way. But really, if you're watching, you should try it because we recommend it. Yeah, it is the future.
You better get it now before like it catches fire and then you're left like catching up later. It's gonna be really painful.
That's so funny.
Okay, since we've been talking about this, I've instantiated this use mutation hook. We get a create contact function and a loading and error. These loading and error properties that we can use to update our application. So
cool.
In particular, adding this is loading prop to our button. This is a chakra prop there. And then in our modal body, I'm just going to add this conditional rendering of an error message. Waiting. No.
I'll get it.
All right.
We want text from Chakra, right?
That's it.
Text. Yeah, it always like finishes it. I don't know why it does that. Next time, maybe I'll highlight the whole word and then do it, and it will replace it properly. Maybe I'll try that. Actually,
also, I noticed that it works for me if I do it at the end of the string. So if I place your cursor at the end of the thing, it'll do it.
Maybe that's what it is. Oops, I'm following you, and I was going to see if it imported. Let me check real quick. It did not. That's fun. That's cool. Okay, but now it is.
Okay.
All right.
So now we got our error and our loading states hooked up. and it's time to fire off our mutation function here. So we get n for name. No, what we're gonna do is destructure a few things from the event target, namely contact ID, which we're already using, and then name and notes from event target. Okay. And then if contact ID's value is new, then we can send this mutation with name, notes, set to both those values, as well as it requires a listing ID, which we're going to grab from props. Props.listing ID. Okay. Before I forget, I'm going to go and make sure that this component is getting the appropriate props. So
you got to give it props.
You can go. Yep. Got to give it its due, you know. So add contact button
just takes props
needs to take a listing prop. So this is going to take listing ID equal to listing.id.
I like it.
And then it's just going to pass this along to the contact form.
I like it. Yeah, slight derailment. We can keep working through this, but I'm thinking it's almost time for me to change my theme. I'm getting to that point. I still love this one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but it's just like every once in a while I like to switch it up, you know?
Sure, yeah. Just like your hair.
Exactly.
It's the same. If your theme and your hair coincided, I think that'd be the coolest thing.
Why did you do that? That's genius. I need to start doing that.
And if you're I think you mentioned that your daughter was somewhat responsible for choosing your hair color.
Generally, sometimes yeah. Okay. They give a lot of insight, both of my kids. Yeah.
So if that's the case, then maybe your kids should also be in charge of your VS Code theme. You know, like.
Ooh, that's a
it could be like they're idea. Up to them to like just you guys can like go through the VS Code theme library and then just go with whatever they go with, because obviously they have good taste.
They do have good taste. They really
so
do.
Far.
Yeah. Yeah.
They better not screw up.
Though. I know, for real. They can't have me out here looking silly. In VS Code or with my hair. You know?
That's right. But anyway, let's see. This is looking pretty good. So this will do what we need it to. The other thing that like I considered was just using children instead of like passing this prop down 2 levels like this. We could also do something like
and then just put the component in there
and put it in there like that.
Oh, I see. That's interesting.
You know, and then add contact button just renders its children where the contact form would be.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. That's one potential
components. Am I right?
Yeah. Anyway, let's just keep pressing forward here. Try to get a contact created. Yeah. So this should be everything we need to create a contact. However, once we create that contact, nothing's going to happen to it because we need to update our cache with the response we just get from our mutation. So we get back a contact and a listing ID. What I'd like to do is figure out what fields we're expecting to exist on a contact in a listing.
Yeah, makes sense.
I think we might have. There we go. That's it right there. So what I'm going to do is just make this into a fragment.
I'm feeling it.
Okay. We're going to export this contact fragment. It's going to be written as such. Fragment contact fragment on contact is just these 3 fields. Hopefully Prettier will format this stuff in just a moment, but then we just need to add this contact fragment constant at the end of our listing fragment. So listing fragment is now being composed from another fragment. And this is really useful because now when we create a new contact, I don't need to really think that hard about, okay, what fields are going to be needed to for the app to continue looking and working the same,
right,
as it does when I add a new contact, or when I add a new contact, as it does when I just reload the page from scratch. So we can use fragments to handle this case.
I like it.
Here in my create contact mutation, I'm going to ask to get all of the fields that are defined on this contact fragment, and then just use that so that when I'm concatenating the new contact on the list of existing contacts, I can rest assured that it's going to have all the same properties.
I like it.
Utils. Okay, the other thing that I need to make this update function work is the query that we're actually going to be updating here. And that query is this get listings query, which is also defined in our utils function. So lucky for me, I can just go up to the top of my file here and grab get listings as well. And this should be everything I need to update my cache following a new contact being added. So what I'll do is say listings, we'll destructure listings from cache.read query with the query being get listings, and then cache.write query, the query again being get listings, but we're going to pass it a little bit different data. We're going to say listings is now equal to all of, wait a minute.
Hold up now.
Listings is equal to listings.map. And for each listing, we're going to check if listing ID is equal to data dot create contact dot listing ID. Then we want to send back a new object with all of the existing listing props, but where the contacts are equal to all the existing listing contacts plus
as well as, right? Yeah.
Data create contact like that. Otherwise, we'll just send back the listing.
Love it.
And let's take a look at how messy this looks. And we can, if we're not feeling like, I want to get your thoughts, Kurt, on this. Like, if you feel like this ternary operator is like obscuring the concept too much, like
we could also this is what I would do. Yeah, if the listing is not the same, I return the listing.
Ooh, okay.
Does that make sense?
So if the thing is not the same,
it's like shorting out. Yep, boom.
Thing. I like that.
Otherwise, return.
Otherwise, return
boom.
The edited listing.
You got it.
Sweet. We could also just if we wanted to reduce the amount of characters in reading here, we could do something like
I love that
const listing ID and contact from data.create contact. And then we can.
You want to hear an interesting fact?
Up here. Sure, yeah.
Using regular OBS instead of Streamlabs OBS. For any who aren't familiar, that's the app that we use to actually stream to Twitch. And we get way less dropped frames. Like the connection is way more stable in regular OBS than Streamlabs.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
like way less.
That's pretty cool.
Dropped frames. Yeah.
It's like Streamlabs is trying to compromise us.
Yeah.
Do 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 do
Dun,
do
dun,
do do do.
dun. When
Twilight Zone
we
theme.
gotta pull off the mask of Streamlabs
X-Files theme,
OBS,
rather.
yeah, and see who they really are. Let's see who you really are. Mixer.
Yes. Oh gosh.
That's really funny.
All right. Let's see. So this should be everything we need to update our listings with the new contact. Let's give it a try.
Let's do it.
So I'm here. I'm going to give it a try on my side. Why don't you go to try on yours?
Okay, so we can now add this listing, right? Oh, I see you got an error. So maybe before I go try it, I'll see what happened.
Whoops. What happened?
Unknown type remove contact input. So there's an error with the schema. This is not known.
Remove contact input. I must have deleted it somehow.
I think we changed the name, or maybe actually like copy pasting something. It got deleted because you know, like VS Code messes up the file for you sometimes when you paste in here.
Yeah.
But it's pretty much just like create contact input, no?
Yeah, except it's just an ID and a listing ID.
Right.
I'm just gonna recreate it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go remove contact input. ID is of type ID. Listing ID. I might have cut it instead of copied it. When I was creating this one. Maybe.
Maybe. We'll never know. I mean, we can actually go back and watch the stream, but like.
Yeah. If we really want to point.
Okay, so now we should be able to add a new contact, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do on the Director of Customer Success. Well, I'll let you do it. Let me know when it's done and I'll refresh my page.
Sure.
Since you're already doing it.
Actually, so I'm going to add contact. And it worked. I added a contact. However, when I added the contact, I was missing one last crucial little bit of UI detail here, which is the onCompleted function that runs after a successful query. I just want to
close that.
In this case, what I'll do is just close the modal, and then you'll see the results of what you did. I don't think that we necessarily need to raise a toast or anything like that. We can see how it feels. If it's missing something, maybe we'll decide to show a toast on the screen.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty instant feedback, so I don't feel like, because it shows up, so I'm not sure it's necessary.
Yeah. So contact form, what I'm going to do is just expect it to have a prop called, I see, interesting.
It's actually
let's give it a completed prop.
Yeah, so that's like a good UX point, which is like, if the app does something visual, like if there's a UI update, you don't really need a toast. Like the toasts are useful for when the thing that happens is unseen, right? Like it's to notify you that something happened that was not visible to you. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's a really good way to put it. Yeah. Like if the result of your action is obvious, you don't need to.
Right.
You don't need to like tell the user, hey, it was successful. They already know.
Yeah, you're telling them twice at that point.
Yeah.
Tony 2 times.
Yeah. Okay, so the consequence of what we just did means that this little fancy, childrenization of contact form is actually not going to work anymore, because contact form needs an onCompleted prop, which is equal to the closing of the contact modal. All of that functionality is contained within the add contact button. So what I'm going to do is just move this listing ID back onto the button. We're going to take this contact form and say peace out.
Goodbye.
Put it back here where I was listing children, and then change this listing ID to props.listing ID.
Cool, but did we...
And we should be...
Did we add that back? Did you add it to the button? Did I miss that? The actual instantiation of the button. Not here. This is like in the contact form. Where were we using that?
Yeah. So yeah, when basically the only difference is now the contact form component gets this onCompleted prop equal to the onClose handler.
Yes.
That we get from useDisclosure.
Got it. Okay, yeah, let me follow you again. Yeah.
Contact form, when the mutation gets completed, we just call props.onCompleted, and with any luck, we should see our form being closed.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Let's see.
This time I will test
why don't you
it.
go to try on your side?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so this time I'll test it. So I'm going to add contact, create new contact, Khalil. Boom. And then it's pretty cool. All right, add the contact. Receive status code 400. Bad request.
Oh.
Maybe I need to refresh my page. That seems weird though.
What does the error message say?
I'm going to oops. Yeah, let me go to the network panel. GraphQL. Variable input got invalid value. Name, notes, field listing ID of required type. Yeah, it was not provided. That's what I was saying. We moved the listing code. We never when we took contact form out of add contact button, we never added the listing ID to the prop. Does that make sense? Like we never passed it down. Wherever we're calling add contact button, we didn't.
Oh, you're so right
here. I thought that's it. Right here. Yeah.
There we go. Listing ID. Boom. That's the missing link.
That is the missing link. All right, so let's try it again. Add contact. Success. And the modal disappeared. Khalil is there. And all was right. All was right.
And now, if you opened up the add contact form again,
there should be options.
You should see two names.
I only see one. Kurt Kemple.
Oh.
That's odd.
You know what, this reminds me that when we run this update function, we're only updating the get listings query.
That is why. Yeah.
We're actually also going to need to update our list contacts.
No, I think it's actually that the query needs to be like that query's not getting updated. So we're calling in. I opened the form. So that called into contacts. We closed the form, but it's not refetching the contacts. Does that make sense? Like the cache is not being updated for all of the contacts.
Yeah, exactly. So we're updating the get listings query, but we're not updating the get contacts query that's powering the select thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to do that now.
Is that what you said right before I went on my tangent about saying that? Is that?
I think we both basically said the same thing.
Different words?
Differently.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So here in contact select, we have this get contacts query. So in order for me to use it in the contact form, I'm going to move it to our utils function. You can just say export const get contacts. Okay. And then contact select will import its get contacts query from utils. And then finally, contact form will also import get contacts.
Cool. So now, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit more straightforward to do here. We can just say get contacts, destructure contacts.
I'm gonna sit. Yeah, my back hurts.
Damn. Have you been standing this whole time?
Yeah. Well, I've also been standing all day. So normally I like to do a pretty good mix of both between sitting and standing. But today I found myself standing a lot more than usual, and it's affecting the old lower back. But now I'm sitting.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah, gotta love
Okay.
it.
This should do the trick now. We're getting the get contacts query.
We got it.
Writing a new query, just appending the existing contact onto the end of the, or appending the new contact onto the end of the existing ones.
It's not saved yet. Okay.
And let's give this a try.
All right, so now that should work. So if I go back, I'll add another contact, right? And it should update in the UI as well.
If we're lucky.
Create new contact. Who should I add here? Who am I going to add? Sue Peggy.
Sounds
so
good.
this is like adding all of our team members, essentially.
Yeah.
Going through here. Okay, cool. So that, I'm not going to even add a note, or do we have to? No, right?
You don't have to, no.
All right, cool. So add contact. So Peggy is added. Now when I click add contact and select, and boom, there she is, right in the list.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Love that.
So we got a question real quick. I want to, just because it'd be way too much to type this. So NutsDev,
sure.
is asking about kind of like the VS Code thing. So the way that it works is like, yeah, we're not both hosting it locally. I'm hosting everything locally because I'm the one who started the session. So let me bring up the live share panel. So right now I'm in a session, so that's why you see this, but otherwise normally it would be like start session, and that will give you a link and you can give that to other people, and then they can join your session. So they remote into your computer essentially, and they can then work within, like, all the data gets like fed to them. So like they're in there, Trevor's in his own VS Code, but he's just being basically fed everything that's within this workspace for VS Code. He also has access to the terminal, which you could turn on and off. And the app that he's working with locally is just being tunneled from my computer. So my local host is running. If I stop this server, it would stop for him because it's actually on my local machine. So it's kind of like setting up, I don't know if you're familiar with like ngrok. You can set up a public tunnel to your local host. Yeah, so, and you saw this with WSL2, remote containers, which is interesting. Yeah, well, I develop on a Mac too. So this is a Mac computer, and because I'm using LiveShare within VS Code, I don't know what they're doing behind the scenes. But yeah, it works. TM. Actually, that's not true. It works 100% of the time, about 85% of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta like
a little wonky.
Try it over again. Hit the top of your computer.
Yeah, the files are in the computer. They're in the computer. All right.
But it is really a great tool for co-working.
For sure. Workshops.
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So now we have this create a new contact settled. It looks pretty good. Yeah, Nux just mentioned that he didn't realize we're on a Mac, but
yeah, it's unusual to stream
both on Macs.
Yeah, it's unusual to stream from a Mac, honestly. A lot of people stream from Windows PCs too.
Yeah.
Something I've discovered.
I'm starting to realize it's unusual to do a lot of things on a Mac.
Yeah, that's funny. Like gaming on a Mac. People are like, "You game on a Mac?"
Dude, I play Counter-Strike and Super Smash Brothers Melee on a Mac.
Yeah,
it's the dream.
Yeah. It's a dream.
But if you want to do anything more than that, you're toast. Civ 6 and Hearts of Iron.
Yeah.
Is Hearts of Iron another like top-down strategy game?
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with either one of those. I don't know what they are. I'm actually not a very big gamer. A little bit of gaming. I'm a little gamer.
Okay.
Yeah.
A grand strategy game, kind of like Risk.
Ooh. Yeah.
Maybe.
Now Risk, I can get down with. Sounds like it.
Yeah, Risk is dope. I like Risk, but I'm too I play too aggressively. I don't have. I'm not a patient risk player. I go in guns blazing and just get. I get a little bit of success early, and then I peter out and
get spread too thin,
and just destroyed.
Yeah,
that's my classic risk playbook. But I don't know how else to play, man.
There's like 3 types of strategies. There's like go out guns blazing, right, and try and get as much area as you can. Then you have like the hold back on a bigger location and just try and stockpile army until you're like, ready to then venture out. And then the third option is where you're like the alliance maker. Like you just constantly try and play the political game,
Yeah. I wish I could play more cleverly, but I just want to scrap, dude.
I just want to throw dice.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Fun. Well, Nux says that as a web developer who uses REST and Axios, this is a trip. I can definitely relate. Yeah, seeing GraphQL for the first few times. Yeah. Definitely a bit of a mind bender, but it is really, really nice. There's a
Very
lot
powerful.
There's a lot of awesome things about it that I think I take for granted now, like the power of the Apollo cache and how much work it does for you as a developer is really nice.
Yeah. Just the things that you don't even know, like Graphql, like having a way to instantly interact with your API outside of like Postman and like or built-in documentation without having to configure something like Swappy or like some sort of schema defining service, Swagger, right? Like what are the other ones? Yeah. Like what I mean? Swagger docs, exactly, right? So you that all because it's a type system, you get that for free, right? Mm-hmm. And because it's typed and you can introspect, that's how you can build playgrounds and know what's available, and so it's really cool. It's very very interesting, and that's just scratching the surface, like how easy it is to set up real-time subscriptions. It's often not really talked about. Like real time is very difficult, and subscriptions make it a lot easier. It's still difficult because anything real time is just difficult, but subscriptions really make it easy. Yeah, like the chat. Every time you see a chat message pop into the Twitch, the actual layout, that's a GraphQL subscription firing off and sending that chat to the React app that powers our layouts for this stream.
Hell yeah!
Very very cool stuff. Yeah, Signal, exactly. Yeah, Signal, Pusher, those are pretty common things. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. We're glad to have you here, and we hope you enjoy checking out some GraphQL stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've got this working, right? So that works. Our add contacts works. What does this mean for our create listing form?
Right, that's a good point. So now we can actually rip out the contacts part of our create listing form. We don't need that anymore. We don't need it in the schema anymore. So we can just start to do that, like clean out the old contact stuff.
There's a catch.
What's that?
There's a catch. The way our add contact button works right now, the entire form and the button itself are wrapped up within this. Oh, we're just removing contact and making it a second step, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it's not going to be okay. I was about to say it can't be embedded because we don't have a listing ID, but that's not our workflow. Got it. Yeah, let's go rip it out. I love deleting code.
All right, I'll leave it up to you then.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go do that.
I'm gonna sit sidecar and watch.
Ooh, all right.
Let's do this. Yeah.
No, you have something else you want to jump into first before we go cathartic?
I was just saying that we can maybe make a commit before we.
That's a good idea.
Before we keep moving forward.
That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Let's see. Let's go just through our stuff. So we added create contacts. It's pretty much what we did, right? Just like added this create contact form. Okay, so added create.
All right, I'm following you.
Contact form. That's fine. That's enough. Boom. So we've got that. I'll go ahead and push that. Oh, and actually, if anyone wants to see the repository, I keep forgetting to link this. Oops, I spelled my own name wrong. Journey v2. Oops, I did v3. Cool. So that's the repository that we're working from. So you can pull this down, add some. Actually, I don't think you need to add any environment. Yeah, you would need to add an environment variable for your Postgres database, but otherwise this would work out of the box, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's see. We've got that done. So now let's go. Yeah. Okay. So contact form itself is where we want to get rid of add contact button. No.
Yes. No, just the list from the listing form.
That's right, listing form. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. Okay, so contact form. This is going to go away, though.
Yep, but that's going to go.
Goodbye. We don't need to get contacts. Nope. So that can go away. Whoa.
It was fun. It was fun making that, though.
It was. Okay, so we've got our listing form. What's up here? Animate presence. That stays. Creator select company.
That's
that
all
stays. So we go down here. Contact.
Just because it was fun to make doesn't mean it deserves to stick around.
That's right. That is correct. So we won't need that, which means this won't be part of our form anymore. So that goes away. Contacts goes away. Wow, we need to update across the whole stack now because we got to go into the back end next. Company stays. Mutation is good. Add contact form. Goodbye. So then we come down here, and then we can remove contact forms. I think I'm aligned shallow there. Gone.
We've got that contacts heading as well.
Oh, oops. Yep, that's right. Good call. Let me jump back down. Where are you? Oh, yeah, contacts and add contact button. This whole section goes, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
Nice.
Yeah, so let's go see if anything's unused. And then we can get out of here. Yeah, so we got a couple things now unused. Oh, I like this song. So I finally got pass-through working correctly, like for the audio from the stream, like into my headphones.
Oh,
for
good.
Things like music and stuff like that. Yeah.
But not our voices. You don't have like.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just the music. Yeah.
Just the music comes through. Yeah, it's nice. I can't tell if we're using Box or not. I don't think we are. It looks pretty dull. I'm just gonna remove it and it'll error if I'm wrong. Cool. All right. So that worked. So that is removed. So let's go jump into the server side of this, GraphQL. And now what we're going to do is we're going to say a create listing input will no longer have contacts. Goodbye. So that will be removed. So that takes care of that. Create listing. Okay. So that fixes that. But now we have to do the actual mutation. So create listing. And then, which is actually pretty easy. So it looks like we get rid of this and then go find contacts as a prop, which I imagine we're just destructuring. Yep. So we remove that. There we go.
Nice.
Clean. All right. So I'm going to commit this.
Cool. I think there might be a couple more little things that I caught. One is we're also doing this for update listing.
Oh, good call.
And then the other thing is that we have this listing.create and add contacts, which we can also remove from the listing model.
You're right. We won't need that. So let's do that. Boom. Goodbye. Thank you for catching that. See, folks, this is why you should play a program. All right. So that takes care of that. And now we'll go into DB because we have our listings model defined in here. Wait a minute. we add the method. Where did we add that? Here we go. Listing.
There it is.
Right. So in this case, it's the only function. So instead, we just have to do. We can basically just like.
Just do that.
That, right?
Yep.
Cool. So that takes care of that. So now we're good.
Nice.
Now we're good. Okay, so let's do remove contact.
Ooh, one more thing. Just before you hit the go button, in our schema, we're still the update listing.
Still has contacts in the input.
Still has contacts, and we also have this now unused contact input down below on line 55.
Oh.
So we can get rid of that too.
Cleaning up, taking out the garbage. Love deleting code.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, reminds me, I have to take in the recycling bins from outside.
You're welcome. Okay, so we've got all of that, so that's good. So now I'm gonna do remove contact. I don't even know what from listings form. Remove contacts from listings forms. From listings.
Sounds good.
Form. There we go. Push. Cool. So my question is, we're coming up on like 4:30, which would be an hour and a half. I mean, I still have time left, but like we actually just wrapped up like a good chunk of work. Do we want to just maybe assess what's left and then maybe figure out what it is we want to do? There's one thing I want to do, which is currently we only display add contact button if there are already contacts, which means for things like this, there's no way to add a contact.
Ooh, yeah, good call.
So that is something I think we should probably fix real quick.
Yeah, I would propose that we can, if you've got the time, I think maybe we should, do that, like make the button available, and then also just make it so that you can add existing contacts to a listing.
Oh, we didn't do that. That's right.
We haven't done that part.
Yeah, it's only new support. I think we have time for that, and I think that will be a beautiful place to wrap up, right?
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
I actually say let's get it so you can add existing listings first, because that completes the functionality of the contact form, and then we'll make it available wherever it needs to be available. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Heck yeah. Okay. So let's see. What are we doing here? So this is going to be create contact. So now we're going to need add contact to listing, right? Like a separate mutation.
Exactly. Just like taking a contact ID and a listing ID and smashing them together.
Yeah. So is it add contact or contacts? Oh, wait, it's only one because it's the button. So you just do it one at a time. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. So it's add contact to listing. And so all we could do is say, I'm not going to do an input. Why, right? When there's only two. So we have contact ID. ID. Oops, I must hit cap locks. ID, which is of type ID and required. And then we also have, do you use commas? Yes. And then it's listing ID, which is also an ID, and people wonder why I call myself the worst dev. It's like it's always funny because
you like ask yourself a question and then answer it like a millisecond later.
Fair enough, but like the point is I still have to ask it, you know. All right, here we go. So and then this should return a listing contact, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, so we've got that because if we look at our listing contact, which is her right down here, it's got the actual contact it was added to and the listing ID. I like this. So now this exists as its own mutation. So we have create contact. Let's do async add contact to listing, and then it's going to be boop, and then we're going to have, no, we're not going to have an input this time. We're going to have listing ID and contact ID. And then we have a user, well, we will, because we'll want to do user.getListing to make sure that they have the right permission to be getting that listing, right?
True.
And then, yeah, so that should take care of that. So essentially, this is going to look like, yeah. Actually, it's going to look just like this. Oops. So let me go ahead and just copy it.
Nice. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Ooh. Whoa.
You can even copy like the we have a little error message that is weird.
Yeah.
We have a little error message there. We can do that too.
All right. So let's go ahead and do that. So that takes care of that. Now we can say contact. Oops. Contact equals, and this will be a user's contacts again, right? So we could actually say user.getContact.
I think we'd probably want to we'd want to find it the same way that we find the listing there, like where we're checking for a contact,
find one,
contact ID, and the user ID.
That makes sense.
Because user get the unless I'm I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that in Sequelize your associations get like you would have a user.getContacts plural.
Yeah.
And you could pass where contact ID equals whatever, and then we'd still end up with an array.
Oh, I see.
So this is another way of basically doing the same thing, but
got it. And it should look like this, right?
Contact. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so we've got that. Oh, right, because if you do like get contacts, that's the pluralization. That's like expecting a list. I thought it also added a get contact, which is individual.
I could be wrong.
And you could just pass in the ID.
I'm checking it out right now.
Let's check it out. And while you check it out, I'm just going to keep going on with this because then it's just listing.add contacts. Isn't that the method that we would get?
You can do add contact singular.
Perfect.
And it is only the plural get whatever.
Got it. Okay, so it's get that.
Foo.get bars.
Yeah, and then find one bar.find one. Or actually foo.find one, and then you would pass in bar ID. All right, cool.
Yeah. If we wanted to as well, like here, this might be a good point to check for if the contact that is passed in isn't owned by the user, we can also throw forbidden error there.
Ooh, good call. Yeah. All right. So hang on. Sorry. Donna asked me a real quick question.
No worries.
And done. Cool. All right. So let's see. Now we've got, and I can return. No, I can't. So what I have to do here now is await this. And then because we have to return, so if we remember, if we go back up to the schema, what we're actually returning is a listing contact. So I can't just return, I was about to just return the listing, but that's not what we want at all. What we want to return here is listing. Oh wait, that was right. Why can't I spell? Listing ID is listing.id, and contact is, well, just contact. Right?
That looks good.
It does look good. Will it work? 'Tis the question.
That is. So
we
our contact form is going to have to change a little bit to accommodate for this.
It certainly is.
I think it'll be pretty straightforward for us.
I concur. Okay, so we're gonna go. Oh, oops! No, I need to stay in VS Code. What am I doing? We're gonna go to our add contact button. So we have we have our create contact thing. So I'm just gonna, and we have a contact fragment, which I think we can reuse in this case. So here's what I'll do. I'm gonna duplicate this. All right, and then we could just change this to, if my mouse would work properly. Oh, that's
Come on,
right.
mouse.
Exactly. This will be add contact to listing, and we get to do that cathartic act of updating this everywhere.
Yeah.
And then this is going to be listing inputs. And
well,
then, oh wait,
time
no.
We actually have
two things. Thank you.
Two variables.
Good catch. Listing ID. Oh, thank you.
See? I got you.
See? Okay, cool. So then we have listing, contact. Look at that. And then we've got, this becomes, listing ID. And then, so that will return that. And then we also need our, whatchamacallit. Love it. So while you're doing that, what's interesting here is this update function. I feel like we can abstract this some, because what's going to change is where we get it from, where we pull contact and listing ID off of, right? Because it's different for a mutation name, but everything else is the exact same.
Yeah, well, we can actually do something in our mutations themselves to make it work both ways. So right now we're looking for these properties on data.createContact. But if we just changed, well, for example, if we just did something like this, we can cast this mutation name as something else.
Something I missed what you did. Oh, you changed that to create contact for both. Got it.
Yeah. So then that would make it work. Or we could decide on one common name that represents them both, and then
perfect.
But use the same technique.
I've never thought of using an alias for this reason, and I feel a bit silly. This is a great use of aliases. That is so clever. I was like, well, we can't change the name of the actual mutation itself because the other one already exists, but we can use an alias. Okay. Yeah, I'm down with this. So that makes perfect sense to me. Okay, so cool. So now that will work for either one. And now what we can actually do is so here's where it gets interesting. What we want to do is really define this after we know if it's new or not. But we can't do that,
right?
Can we? Well, we can if we abstract this into a different subcomponent.
Maybe, yeah. Let's see. I want to know. I feel like there's a way around this. Like if we, let me see. I'm gonna look at the Apollo docs real quick. Docs/React. I want to look at the at this, like the options that you can pass to a mutation function, and maybe we can, here in create contact, where we're actually
let me follow you real quick.
calling the mutation.
Yeah.
We might be able to.
Specify what the mutation is here. Yeah, that would be ideal.
Maybe. If not, what we can always do is use the use client or use Apollo client.
And just call it imperatively instead of through a hook.
Well, yeah, exactly. It would be really similar, actually.
Yeah, I've done that all the time. I use that when I set up subscriptions sometimes because it's a lot easier to do within a hook. Yeah.
All right, so now I'm just looking here. Ooh, options. Optional for the use mutation hook since mutation can be passed as the first parameter to the hook. Required for the mutation component. Does that mean?
I would imagine you could pass it in the options then.
Then you can pass it in the options, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know. Why don't we just try that, I guess?
Yeah, let's see what happens.
All right, I'm gonna keep following you, and we'll.
Okay, so then
we'll go down this road. I think we keep that create contact where it is. I think.
So, but what? Oh, I see. And then we'll overwrite it.
That'll be the default.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so we'll do that. So then in handle submit, if this, else.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing basically the exact same thing. Well, almost. The inputs will change.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So let me grab this. And then, boop. So then, mutation would be, what did I call it? Add.
So exciting. Add contact to listing.
Yeah, and our variables will change. There's no input. Goodbye. But there is, and there's also no name or notes, but there is a listing ID. And then there's contact, if I could spell, ID, which is going to be event contact ID.value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
there's also one other state where contact ID is an empty string, and we're probably going to want to like not do anything when contact ID is empty. Perfect.
Right?
Yeah.
It should do it.
Nice.
Is declared, but oh, okay, there we go. Cool. All right. So let's do this. Let's go test it.
Let's give it a try.
Okay, so
watch.
Okay, but first I have to remove one because all the existing contacts are here. So I'll remove myself.
Okay.
I've been removed. And now I'll go to add contact and I'll select me. Well, we got a GraphQL error. Cannot query field. Add listing to contact on type mutation. Interesting. Oh, it's add contact to listing. Dyslexic much? Okay.
Words.
Yeah.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
Wait, yeah, add contact to listing. Oh, on the client I said add listing to contact, right? Is that what I did?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's okay.
I mean, we're kind of doing that in a way.
Okay, add contact to listing. Boom. All right, so let's try this again. Success. It worked.
Oh my gosh. You're kidding me.
No. Hashtag first try. Okay, cool.
Do you want to add that? Try and add a contact to the senior product manager one?
Well, yeah, but we can't add a contact right now because there's no button.
Yeah. So let's
go do that.
Fix that. I think it's going to be a pretty easy fix.
Yeah, I agree.
I have a feeling.
All right, hang on. Okay. Okay, so what am I doing again? We're gonna go to listings. Mm-hmm. And then we're mapping over our listings, and then what we're doing is we're saying if listings.contact.link. Oh, so it's within that stack. Oof.
So we can really, I think we can just remove that condition, like the the listing contacts length thing, because we're always going to have that stack.
Oh, right, because we're always going to have that button. So we just don't need this check.
Yep. I think that's it.
I think you're right. I was about to way overcomplicate that. Thank goodness for you. Okay. So let's go here. So now, boom, there's our button. Add contacts. Where's there's not one for you. I should. Oh, that's right. You're unassociated.
Yes, I'm off the grid.
Yeah, you're off the grid. Yeah, you're a lone wolf.
Yeah,
that's funny. You're like Neo in the Matrix, All right. Okay, and it works. So I can add contacts. I could.
Ooh, that's so satisfying. Dude.
I could create a new. So that's good. This functionality.
Why don't you create me? I want to join the party.
Okay, yeah. So first, what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna remove this one. But yeah, so add contact, create new. Not that matters, because now there's gonna be 2 Trevor Blades. But yeah. Tony 2 times. Add contact. There you go. You're there. You're represented.
Amazing. Oh, so nice to be here.
So satisfying.
Cool, man. I think that kind of does it for this feature.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna commit this.
Okay.
Real quick. So.
Sounds good.
Add contact button to all listings. Works for me. Add, and it's pushed. Voila.
Right.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it really is good stuff. This was a very productive day. So, like, my question is, so I feel like that's like a good wrapping point as far as coding things go. But my question is like, is there anything left, or is this done?
Well, I mean, one thing that if we want to go down this road, like if we wanted to launch it, we would need to give people a way to sign up.
Ah, that's right. We have no login flow. Yeah.
Yeah. Closed beta.
Yeah, closed beta. Yeah.
So we have no sign up flow. We have a login form, but no way to sign up. So that's one thing that jumps to mind. But other than that, we have all of the basic kind of CRUD operations for and filtering for all of the listings. We have contacts. We might want to add a way to like view the notes about a contact. So,
absolutely.
Click on a tag to see like information about them.
Okay, so let's...
but I think that this feels like a pretty good amount for today's stream. I don't know how you're feeling.
No, I think it's good for today. I think as a takeaway, the next thing that we could do is make it so you can view notes, right? That's like pretty low hanging fruit. I think if you click on it, maybe it just opens in a modal or something, Like, do you need to be able to change notes, edit notes? Like, that raises that question.
Right. Editing contacts. I don't know. I think that, I mean, like deleting contacts for good, that's something that you mentioned before.
Yeah, like almost like you would need like a profile section to manage this stuff, right?
Oof. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's safe to say there's still a few things left that we can do. But it depends kind of like how far we want to take this app. And maybe that's something that we can decide. We don't have to decide right now. But,
I think that's up to us to kind of figure out, because I think for me the goal of these, which we can talk about later, is really just to kind of like showcase the bulk and like using Apollo within different technologies and platforms and stuff. Not so much like building completely polished, but I do think there are parts that are missing that are useful for people to see. But yeah. So I think
totally
there's a little bit more left we could do. I really think auth flow is something that I would like to show. I'd actually rather focus on auth flow than any of the other things we've talked about. Honestly, that's just repeating more CRUD stuff, which we've done enough of, I feel like, So we'll think about this, y'all. We'll marinate on this offline. We'll figure out. There'll definitely be at least 1 or 2 more, but it looks like we're getting pretty close to wrapping this up. So I guess, yeah, with that, I got let's see, let's talk about a couple things. Oh, real quick, GraphQL Summit Worldwide is next week. If you have not registered, go register. I'm going to copy the link, drop it in the chat. Or maybe not. I'm having some issues. Why can I not chat anymore? What is going on? My Twitch window, my chat window is broken.
Do we need a link to Summit?
Yeah, link to Summit. If you could drop that in the chat. I can't chat anymore. I have no idea.
Summit website or the Eventbrite link?
I would say the Eventbrite link. Yeah, I can't do anything. I must have a notification somewhere, or I can't click on any of my
banned, dude.
Oh. No, yeah.
Banned.
I can't. Oh, okay. Well, Chrome is working again. Oh, there we go. I don't know what that was. Hey, Code Hustle, way to join. But we are basically just wrapping up. I'm so sorry. But we're basically going over what we're gonna do next. Yeah. So let's see. So yeah. GraphQL Summit next week. Register. All the talks are up. All the panels are up. We're gonna have some cool topic rooms throughout the days. 2 days in a row. Sorry. I need to get better, I guess, at promoting these and letting folks know. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do that. We got some cool streams coming up. So let me drop a link to our events calendar. Ooh, Code Hustle, you should add this. I would add this. It's an events calendar. It's just a Google Calendar, so you can just get reminders and all that fun jazz. Boom. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, we got a lot of good streams coming up next week. We did a really cool one yesterday. If you did not make it, go watch the video on Twitch. Stackhawk came on and gave us a walkthrough of AppSec, for GraphQL, which was really neat. It was very cool. It's a very awesome platform. They're in an open beta right now, so you can just start it up and tinker around with it. It's very cool. So definitely go check that out. Yeah, and that's it. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No, not me. I'll second what you mentioned before regarding GraphQL Summit. It's going to be a great time. This is next Thursday and Friday. Yeah, you're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a great couple days, and then again the following week, same kind of schedule. Lots of great talks from people in the community. Chance to interact with other developers in the community. It's completely free, so you have nothing to lose there.
Nothing to lose. Sign up. Oh, and the reason you'll want to sign up, so we are streaming it, right? So you'll be able to just come here on Twitch and watch it if you really want to, and it'll be active. But if you want to hang out with the Apollo team and people from the GraphQL community, open source community, and a bunch of other people, Hazura is going to be there, the Stackhawk folks are going to be there, a lot of other companies and just people are going to be there. There's going to be panels where if you have questions, you can get a chance to ask them, and you can't do that stuff unless you register, because that's how you get the link to the Discord community. So even if you are going to watch, come and watch it on the actual talks and stuff on the stream, you're still going to want to get access to that Discord community. Boom.
That's it.
With that, that's it. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. If that's all you got, you think it's worth seeing if there's someone we can raid, or are we just going to call it?
Yeah, I saw that Cassidy is live, so we're gonna Cassidy a raid.
Let's do it
at this point. So I just started that off. So hop in. It's gonna be fun. Cheers.
Yeah. Awesome.
And and that's it for us, guys. So until next time.
See you later.
Stay safe and see ya.